Bible Manuscripts, a rock-solid text. Part 1, Quantity. First, so you'll understand what's being counted, please know that we have three types of writings from which we derive the New Testament. First, quotations. Several Christians who lived shortly after the apostles of Jesus quoted the New Testament extensively and often. Between them, they quoted every verse except for less than a dozen. We also have many early versions. A version is simply a translation. The entire New Testament can be compiled from over 18,000 copies of translations from the Greek into Egyptian, the Coptic, Sahidic, and Boeric dialects, the Aramaic, these are the Curetonian and Sinaitic manuscripts, and there is a revision, the Peshitta, and from Old Latin, which was used by missionaries to North Africa and Italy, which was also later revised by Jerome. But most significantly, we have manuscripts in the original language, Greek. They are written in various font styles. Uncials represent an ancient style of printing, essentially all capital letters all run together, while cursives look more like our modern writing. Some manuscripts are on papyrus. Others are New Testament verses written on church papers, such as a church's calendar of readings, lectionaries, on pieces of pottery, ostraca, or on lucky charms, talismans, and some are in the form of a scroll. We have many copies of some verses and fewer copies of others. They vary in length from a few verses to several New Testament books. When these manuscripts are pieced together to show all the New Testament verses, the result is called a text. Here's a special glimpse of manuscripts of both the Old and New Testaments from the vast Scullin collection. This will give you an idea of what the scholars are working from when they compile the Bible text and then translate it for us. The number of each type of manuscript is shown here to give you a relative idea of how many of each type of source material we have for the New Testament. It's hard to get, much less keep, a precise count of New Testament manuscripts for a couple of reasons. First, new discoveries are continually being made even here in the 21st century. Second, there is not a single worldwide database. And as Sean McDowell points out, many databases do not reflect new discoveries, include private collections, list scrolls, or account for manuscripts from the Renaissance or later. Now let's compare the number of New Testament manuscripts to the number of manuscripts of classical books, which are accepted by scholars as authentic and trustworthy. Note that some ancient collections are shown to be missing entire books. You can see that we have far more copies of the Bible than of any other ancient book, and the manuscripts show that the Bible we have is a complete collection of 66 books.